how the complete pictures works together. That means if you get this picture really clearly, then you are clearly understand how the software development life cycle works, how it is done, how and professionally. That's I said I worked 10 or 12 years for the development world. I need to be, that's why I try to share with you how it is works to get it really clear pictures. So if you see the pictures like that, you have a development. So development, you have some plans from the product owner of the end clients, then you fix the requirements, and after the fix you try to start the developments. So development, maybe you would have, if you check here, different IDE for the Eclipse or IntelliJ or other IDE or Visual Studio Code, depending what type of the application you try to develop. So you have a IDE, and then you have a source code. Then a source code need to be maintained by the some repository, or that's repository by GitHub or GitLab, or even though in Bitbuckets. So your source codes is maintained in the version control systems, like that I said, in a GitHub or GitLab or Bitbucket systems for the all developers. So maybe your team has a 3 or 4 developers. They will push in each of the branch or feature branch, and they put it their source code, the development source, into the branch, and you merge it and make some pull request and put it the final or release source code into the Bitbucket or GitHub or Git repository. After the Git, your source code is getting ready, and then you have a release version to build the applications with the Maven and Gradle. Then previous my screencast, there's a lot of example how can you build application based on Maven or Gradle or Ant, the old school, depending on what type of how you can build your applications. For most of the cases in the Spring world, that's what I am trying to do with you. Maybe it's we use the Maven or Gradle's applications, and after that we build applications, and as a build application with the standalone jar files. We don't need to be get the Tomcat, because the Spring Boot has a capability in the embedded Tomcat with that one, and that we need to be maintained in web container, or just like the Tomcat container for deploying the applications. So it's automatically handled by the Spring Boot itself. So you have built your application as a standalone jar files or WAR files, doesn't matter, or AR files, and after the deployment is done, and you run the automatic testing. If you have a like the GUI testing, you can also use the Seleniums, and then all the other tested you can use also the JUnit test. When you try to develop your code, you done your JUnit test. But that's I will show you my project in real life project what I did last time. So JUnit test and Selenium test, and then after maybe the microservice case, website REST service case, I normally use the different REST service tools like Postman's is the most popular tools that I already said you. This is the one of the most popular tools for testing. So Postman, I will show you the all the project is ready here. So I will discuss step by step how it is done, how it is will be handles all things together. So let's finish the presentation part. So that means you have a testing tools, you have the deployment build tools, you have some version control, source code version control systems, and also the version control system for your database like Flyway, Liquibase. That's I did my last screencast. Just follow the screencast number 65 and 66, and that's that they clearly define how can you done by the database migration systems, or by database by version control system with the Flyway and Liquibase. Just follow that one. So after that, when you did the test and release, and then if you are using enterprise level application, and that's that we need to build this everything it by manually, it's automatically done by the system integration tools like Jenkins and Bamboo. And that means you configure your source codes, and Bamboo will and configure your build tools, and then Bamboo automatically take the your source code from the your version control systems, and then deploy the application into the with help of the Docker and Docker Compose and Kubernetes. And this is the things I will really discuss with you. How can we deploy the application with different way, like simple standalone jar-based deployments. You can also deploy the application with Docker and Docker Compose-based deployment. And then also, and the third options, how can you deploy the application into the Kubernetes cluster? And that's the reason it is really important to understand how it is works in the real life, in the professional works. That's I said. If you have applications and then you build your standalone jar files or WAR files or air files, then how you can deploy with the different environments, with the how can you deploy that is your deployment with the different deployment tools like Docker, Docker Compose, and Kubernetes, and come together to deploy your application into the different environments, testing department, testing environments, release environments, and the production environments. If you are using the Bamboo on Nexus, Bamboo on Jenkins, and then the Jenkins and Bamboo itself do all the job automatically. Just you need to be configure your repository and respective building tools and select the respective configuration for the your Docker or Kubernetes, and it's automatically build your Docker image and deploy the Docker image into respective environments. That's the idea. So that's main points, how the development DevOps works and how the DevOps CI/CD works. That means this is the part of the CD, continuous integration, because if you changing is monitoring or the other person is monitoring or a client changes the requirements and planning and then do the code, build, test, and then this is continuous integrations. And after the your development done, the request is finished, you fix it, and it goes to the deployment, operation, and monitoring go. And this is the part of the CD. That means continuous integrations, your source code or your version control systems with all the building tools or the testing tools and the operation, continuous deployment with the operations of the person who is responsible to check all the servers, all the deployments, and monitoring all microservices, monitoring all the GUI applications. Maybe they are checking all the GUI functionalities with the Selenium, the GUI testing tools. That's the things. So you got the pictures. Where is the how the DevOps works and how the continuous integration and continuous deployment works. So now we got the theoretical background, just really concentrate it. I mean, even though you can go to the Googles and search more to get it clear understanding how it is works. If you clearly understand, and then its development will be really, really simple, very, very efficient as a professional career, as I said. So let's have a go to our presentation part, our project part, to discuss a little bit here in the project part. So if you see the projects, I have a different projects. I have projects like the very simple projects that it has only the simple the application YAML files. That means here there is no such a version control system, database version control system, data migration tools in the Flyway or Liquibase. Is like I just give it to the information. Okay, the schema has to be built automatically, or the Hibernate will or JPA will build automatically the schema sets. That's the information. For the if I have a different projects, like I integrate already the Flyway. If you see this Flyway pictures, so I integrate the how not implementing the Hibernate build the schema. It will build the schema by the Flyway tools. So that's the real different things depending how it is works, how you make your plans. So that means some of companies, they are really build a schema based on the Hibernate will build the schema and they deploy the application and it works automatically. We have a lot of applications for like that way. But if you are really enterprise and professional applications, normally we use some such a data migration tools or database migrations tools like Flyway and Liquibase. That's the information. That's the things I already did some screencast about the how can you integrate and how can you take the same application to to integrate the flyway and integrate the liquid-based applications for the data better and enterprise level or professional way to data migrations issues. So you see, there's all the migration is